joy.
That's true.
They can't feel that void of that joy that only God can give
That's
you.
true. Funny enough, not just the people who have money and cars and wealth, even married people
True.
can't even find joy in
True.
their marriage.
In the marriage,
Yes.
exactly.
So many people think a companion, a friend, somebody might feel that spot.
And they say to you, you feel me, you
complete
complete me. Oh,
And that it is impossible.
It is
The
impossible.
only thing that can complete a human being is God.
exactly.
Because-
the Spirit of God.
Exactly, it's the Spirit of God, because it's the final. It's the only thing that can bring a long-lasting, foundational, solid joy that is not fleeting, that is not passing. Because you see, even in marriages, you have ups and downs,
True.
mountains and
True,
valleys.
true.
But with Christ, He's steady.
He's
He was
steady.
the same yesterday, today,
True
and
that.
forever.
True that. Asserting one's liberty. Yeah. It says here, refuse to be in subjection to the power of evil. Subjected to doing something that is not right. I will not be subjected to doing that which God would frown on. You know, a person must be able to refuse this, because you spoke something about having a power of choice. You know, God has given us a power of choice.
Yes, He has.
So God will let us be because He's given us that. Ellen White,
Yes.
she is saying here, refuse to be in subjection to the power of evil.
Yes. Allowed us. He didn't take away from us the ability to choose the opposite direction, but He allowed us, because when we choose God, we cherish that choice. Like she
Yeah.
says here, that we
Yeah.
should cherish divine precepts and the divine character, and should make a stand that we don't want to do this. You see, now when we assert that, we'll feel so much joy.
True that.
We'll
true
feel so
that,
much joy.
right. So she says, cherish right principles and act upon them.
Yes.
It is useless to cherish right principles and not act upon them.
Yes.
So you need to cherish them. The principle.
Well, she's telling me that.
Is that your wife?
She told me I say it a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me say it.
Yeah.
Yes. So she was saying that if she practices properly,
Yes.
at least handles her business
Yes.
with integrity,
Yes.
she won't be afraid
Of course.
if somebody comes to her practice and asks to see her. That means
No.
if the cops or
No.
in this example,
100%.
HPCS, if they knock at your door,
100%.
you're not scampering
No.
around, because you know you did not do anything. You're free to reveal all your files. And that's the safety that comes with integrity.
100%.
But if you're not if you're a person of low integrity, you'll always be looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You're always running away.
Even if they're coming to investigate about a break-in, you think, did they come for a break-in or the things that I'm doing?
Here for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're always looking. They call you. Somebody's not getting. You're always
True.
running around trying
True.
to scramble your papers.
And you just kept busy.
Yes.
Trying to cover up your.
Trying to cover up. It's foolishness. So I
True.
think when God gives us this integrity, He's not giving it to us
No.
to lock us within a system that will not
It's
benefit
actually
us.
giving us freedom.
He's giving us freedom and peace.
Wow.
You're free when
Yes.
you're not running.
Yeah. Be true to yourself and to
Yes.
God. You know, invite you to your to your place, to their place. Why? Because they know that they would rather show us something that they are not.
Yes.
A beautiful car, but where they come from, where they live, or how their parents are, they don't look after the expression of the character of God.
This is now a question.
Right?
Can God change? What does Malachi 3:6 says? For I am the Lord and I what?
I
change
change not. I change not.
If God could change, then the law could change. And if the law could change, which we keep, then it's fine for us to be different people in different circumstances.
Do you know, Rodney? Now that we talk about a change of character of people,
Okay.
you do not want a person who has multiple characters.
Yes.
You never want them a two-faced person.
Three-faced.
Today, this person is so warm. You meet them and say, "Oh, this person is so warm.
Yes.
This person is so loving."
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you find them. Is it the same person I
the
spoke
same
to yesterday? You end up not even wanting to associate yourself.
true.
Also true with God.
Yes.
The character of God does not change.
Doesn't change.
And where do we see the character of God? In His law.
In His-
God, when you read the law of God, you exactly know.
John 12. Christ says there that he who serves me will be honored by my Father. And for me, that it almost doesn't make sense, because honor is given to a
Says-
king.
He says, submit.
Submit. So if you become a servant, and this is just before he starts washing the feet of the disciples. You see, so he says that whoever becomes a servant will receive the honor. So for me, surrendering to Christ means, like we said in the beginning, the summary of the first chapter, the first part of this chapter.
Yeah.
When you give everything, every choice that you have to make.
Yeah.
Like should I go buy a cigarette or not? Should I buy this particular food or not? Should I listen to this music or not? Should I watch this movie or not? If you give those choices to God, He will direct you. And I think this was at Sunnyside Church yesterday. We were discussing, there was a professor here who was discussing mental health. She's a researcher. And she said that one of the reasons why people are desensitized in our society among the youth is because most of the time we're watching sin. So the amount of killings that you watch, murders that you watch, more it becomes internalized. And this, it doesn't move you to
You kill your senses.
Yes, you kill your senses. You've seen so much blood spilled, so much of that. So you don't, you're not put off by it.
Yes.
You see, now if you were to ask God, should I watch this movie where I know they're doing these type of sins, and He was to keep you away from that, and you allow Him to choose for you, you will not be affected by such things.
True that.
You see,
True that.
but most of the time we do not involve God in so many of the choices that we have to make daily.
Exactly. Now, to have the religion of Christ means that you have
Give you rest.
and I'll give you rest.
That's true.
It exactly means that. A lot of people, we suffer, we groan because of sin, because we do not know this. This is the secret. If you have Christ, whatever problem you have, you just say, take care of it, Lord. Take care of it. I cannot.
And you know what? The funny thing about the being arrested, being a slave to Christ, these chains that He uses to bind you, they are so loose that you can walk away from them anytime.
There you are.
He didn't put them, He didn't tie them to you without your consent. Unlike Satan.
Reminds me, man, of Isaac. It is said that Isaac was much stronger than his father. Yeah.
He was a young man.
He was a young man. I mean, he was strong. Yeah. The father was old. Remember, the father is told at 95 that he's going to have a son. Yeah. Then the word comes, and then you wait another, say, 18 years old until the boy is a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, until the boy is a teenager. That means the man was over 100 years. Okay? So the boy, he is told, you've got to sacrifice this boy. And he has to discuss this with this young, thinking that we know we have it all. And yet we don't know zilch. We don't know anything. But we try and do things for ourselves. So he's saying surrender, just surrender, and you've solved your problem.
Do you know what baffles me about life? When I was thinking about the problems we go through as human beings, we always wanted to control. What brings us distress is anxiety and fear of trying to take control of what is entirely beyond our reach.
Yeah.
You see, so God has said tomorrow, next week, next month, these are not yours.
Yeah.
Christ says that sufficient for the day are the evils thereof. That means today there's enough for you to make decisions over.
True.
I cannot control my wife. I can't control my kids.
No.
I can do the best I can.
Shame you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
If Christ Himself cannot puppet us,
True,
like a ventriloquist,
true,
why should we have distress because we cannot control people's behaviors? We are to control our own behaviors. We have complete power of our own selves.
Amen.
That's what we're supposed to control.
Amen. That's
and Christ thing, it simplifies it. If you live by the law, it's simple.
Very simple.
Do that, not this. Do that. It's simple.
Simple.
It's done.
Yeah. Choosing your destiny. She says, that everyone might realize that he is the arbiter of his own destiny. Do you know, we are our own arbiters of our own destinies. Yeah? You choose your own destiny because of what? The power of choice, which God has said. But He's saying, listen, you don't have to do it. Let me do it for you. Yeah. He is saying, although I have given you the power of choice, but I know you. Yeah? David would say, I'm wonderfully made. Yeah? And fearfully made. Which is why God has said, okay, you have the freedom of choice. Right? But he says, although you have the freedom of choice, you don't know how to choose.
Yes.
Let me,
I'll show you what is good.
exactly.
I set before you life and death. And I said, choose life.
My goodness, my goodness. Okay. To attain happiness now or the life of immortality lies with yourself.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
To attain the life of immortality lies with each and every one of us. Yeah. Power of choice again. All right?
That's true.
Yeah. So we are choosing, we are told to choose and choose wisely. Choosing our destiny. What is our destiny? Our destiny is not about this life only.
No.
Our destiny is the life to come.
To come.
Do you still want to live? I know of many people who have tried to scientifically see how they can live after this life. You know?
To freeze themselves.
Exactly, to freeze themselves. That means
They secretly know that we are not supposed to die. It will be better for us to
Exactly, Rodney.
continue.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. They secretly know that look, this life is just not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not
fleeting.
enough.
It's fleeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be loose on issues of appetite and passion, despise authority, use coarse language, and degrade yourself
To the lowest level.
to the lowest level. All those things are choices. You can. Would you really love to do that? Is the question.
You know, with these things, I've always tried to understand what causes the use of coarse language, swearing, passion. And many of the times, even I was tempted to think it's because of what comes out from the outside. You see, but that's not true.
No, it's not true.
What's outside can only awaken what's inside.
Exactly.
You see,
Exactly.
so these things are what I call divine indicators. Not necessarily divine, but they're just indicators. If you see yourself using coarse language, attracted to evil things, loose rein and passion, just sensual, gluttonous and all that stuff, there's nothing necessarily wrong with you except for the fact that you're still living in the flesh. So if you try and now patch these up, you're trying to patch up symptoms.
Yeah.
What the problem is Christ has not entered yet.
It's
It
inside.
starts inside. When Christ comes inside, he will patch them up from the inside. He knows how to do that. We cannot take care of symptoms.
True that. True
We'll
that.
become like pharmaceutical companies.
No.
We'll be taking aspirin.
Yes.
You see,
Well, for a headache.
for a headache. That's
that actually has caused by
Yes,
something that is.
something's wrong inside. So we need to deal with that. We need to deal with Christ inside.
So she says, your influence may contaminate others
Yeah.
and may be the cause of ruining those whom you might have brought to Christ.
Okay.
Therein lies something that every Christian young man or young, let me just say young person, problem is. You go out there and bring someone to Christ. And then you become also the cause
Of the-
of them living. You know? Because they end up thinking, someone to Christ, okay? And a friend of yours or another young man becomes a source of that person going away.
Living, yes.
Living.
And you know, funny in that you mentioned that because that can happen. Somebody can come in, and that's possibly for a Christian who's diligently searching for God. They will leave. But imagine those Christians that, and they start sinning just like you
Yeah.
inside the truth. They think
Imagine.
it's okay to sin.
Imagine.
Because these people who have brought me here, they're also sinning. So there's no need for us
You
to turn
know,
away from
exactly.
evil.
Exactly.
So they come to Christ searching for purity, but we show them a defiled version of
As he directs our